Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about the match between Barcelona and Athletic Bilbao. Barcelona were able to defeat Athletic Bilbao 2-1 with a goal coming from Lamine Yamal and a goal coming from Lewandowski. Barcelona officially do have 2 wins in the bag, 6 total points, and Barcelona are currently winning through style. Hansi Flick's football is really coming in full effect. So what we are going to be doing in this video is give out a brief overview of this game, talk about the highlights, and then later in the video, we're also going to be talking about the individual performances, because I believe that a lot of players do need to be shouted out. One thing is for sure, Hansi Flick will get the best out of every player in this squad, because we are seeing early signs of this already. Like I have stated multiple times in the past couple of weeks, we need to be very optimistic, positive about Barcelona's sporting project. Yes, there has been a lot of financial difficulties that we had to encounter in the past few days, but that should not stop us from looking at Barcelona through a good lens. Hansi Flick's football is creating good environments, and we have to approach that and support these players. Yes, it was unfortunate to see that Dani Olmo could not get registered on time. We expected for Dani Olmo to be registered, but Hansi Flick did what he did. He cooked. He said, no problem. If Olmo's not going to be there, I have other players like Pedri, Raphinha, all who can perform at a great level. And so they did. Barcelona defeated a tough Athletic Bilbao side that contained Iñaki Williams, Nico Williams, and several other players. So moving on towards the first half, Barcelona dominated in the opening 20 to 30 minutes. It was a very strong attacking plan. Barcelona were providing crisp, sharp passing between the lines. The movements of the players was very dynamic, creating multiple chances. We saw Pedri and Bernal in the midfield. We all thought that this was a midfield that should be questioned, because to have Bernal, who's only 17 years old, and Pedri next to Bernal, who is basically building a double pivot, we're like, okay, could this be it? Could this be a reliable midfield to face against Athletic Bilbao? But they did. They were solid. They were stable. They dictated the play. We also had Raphinha as the highest midfielder in this game, playing as a 10 between Ferran Torres, who was on the left, and Lamine Yamal on the right wing position, and we had Lewandowski up top. Raphinha was the connector for all of these players, and Lewandowski was just enjoying himself on the pitch because the amount of chances Lewandowski had was immense. Hansi Flick is building a team that does complement Lewandowski, and for him to find multiple chances and score goals. Now, unfortunately for him, Lewandowski was doing everything right, but the one thing that he was missing was putting the ball behind the net. And it's not because Lewandowski was playing bad or because he was out of focus in the last couple of seconds in the play. It's simply because the goalkeeper of Athletic Bilbao was having one hell of a match, and that's basically it. But everything else that he was doing in terms of link-up play, holding up the ball, finding the wingers on the flanks, he was doing that phenomenally. Barcelona's defense was also very solid. Athletic Bilbao did see a couple of chances, but nowhere near the amount of chances Barcelona were producing. A couple of minutes later, we saw Lamine Yamal score an amazing goal, putting it into the top left corner. The exact same type of goal that he did score in the Euros against France, but this time Lamine Yamal did it in a Barcelona shirt and in front of Nico Williams. I'm telling you guys right now, I do think that Lamine Yamal will reach at least 12 goals this season. He has the capability. One of the things that we have been talking about Yamal is, okay, this guy can dribble, he can take on players, he can provide assists, he can provide key passes, but he does falter in front of goal. Sometimes he gets too loose, he's not composed enough, he misses, but this time Yamal looks much stronger in front of goal, and that is one of the things that Hansi Flick knew that he needed to fix to turn Yamal into a monster. The moment you have Lamine Yamal confident, composed, strong with the ball in front of goal, you have a monster of a player, and Lamine Yamal for sure can skyrocket his game to becoming one of the top goal scorers in La Liga. Fast forward to Athletic Bilbao scoring their first goal. Unfortunately, Kubarsi made a mistake inside the box. He didn't overcommit on a foul that led towards Athletic Bilbao getting the penalty. Barcelona had to fight that call, but in the end, VAR said no. What Kubarsi did was not allowed. The tackle was just too intense, and we do have to give Athletic Bilbao the penalty. And so we saw Sanket equalize the match 1-1. We went on to the second half, and once again, Barcelona continued with great possession, creating chances. Lewandowski hit the post like 2 or 3 times already at this point. He was also denied another goal from Pedri, who was once again the goalkeeper of Athletic Bilbao. We're like, oh my god, like Lewandowski is doing everything right. Everything is going correct for him, but we are just missing his goal. Later in the game, we saw Fermin Lopez enter the match. We needed more energy in the midfield, and we did see a midfield of Bernal, Pedri, and Fermin Lopez, right? A midfield that makes us dream. A midfield that does give more energy. And so we saw Ferran Torres come out. Raphinha went to the left wing position. Fermin Lopez was acting as the number 10. So with Raphinha being on the left wing position, Raphinha was having a monstrous game, receiving the ball always on the left flank, taking on players. We saw Raphinha receive the ball at one point. Pedri makes a run into the box. Raphinha lays off that ball into space. Pedri receives the ball. He makes a cross into the box, and the cross gets slightly deflected. Lewandowski receives the ball and finally finds his goal to make it 2-1. Everything about this goal was fluid. It was tensional. You knew that they were practicing this over and over again. Pedri's run into space, I'm like, dude, this guy's IQ for the game is just too much for Athletic Club. They could not stop Pedri. And Raphinha just couldn't stop making amazing passes into the box. So we saw Barcelona end up winning this game 2-1. Like I have said, strong performance, very well organized, especially in the attack. One of the things that I do want to say is this: we are very quick and efficient, and our intent is clear when it comes to making combinations of passes through the middle. This is something that we did not see under Xavi Hernandez. Xavi Hernandez's game was all about, okay, we have to control the match, make passes here and there. The moment we get into the final third, let's make passes onto the flanks and let's look for the crosses. With Hansi Flick, it's different. It's very direct, but through the middle. Yes, we still see some emphasis on the wings, but through the middle, our game has improved a lot. The amount of times we saw Lamine Yamal pass the ball through the middle, Ferran Torres receive the ball, passing it to Raphinha, Raphinha passes it to Lewandowski, Lewandowski finding chances. We saw that so many times. And with Pedri also being into the mix, it's extremely vertical and well structured, very well intended. These type of plays have been practiced. So these type of plays that we have been seeing, they're central combinations that are very hard to defend. Not a lot of teams can defend plays like this, and this gives Barcelona a huge plus. So finally, right, 4 to 5 games in, Hansi Flick's football is starting to emerge and the team is starting to understand what he does want, and us as fans are really enjoying it. Keep in mind that this is not even Barcelona's strongest squad. Like, we still have Araujo to add in, Christensen to also add in. We have not even seen Gavi, we haven't seen Frankie, we have not seen Ansu Fati, and we have not seen Dani Olmo. Who knows how good this team could get through time. So let's go into the individual performances, and I first do want to start with Pedri. Pedri has recently been named as one of the captains for this club, and did he showcase why he should be named as one of the captains. Pedri had a world-class game. The old Pedri is back, guys. He is back. His level has increased by a huge margin. Everything that he was doing, all the players followed. Whatever Pedri did with the ball, the players were like, okay, we have to follow this game plan because we trust him. And Pedri always makes the right decisions. In this match, Pedri has played 90 minutes, had 65 touches, 46 out of 53 passes were completed, 5 key passes, right, which was the most, 2 out of 2 long balls, 4 out of 7 ground duels won, 1 interception and 2 tackles. And let me tell you, Pedri's 5 key passes was the most, not just for Barcelona, but for the whole game. No other player was able to produce more than 5 key passes. And he also had 24 chances created in the last 10 games for both club and country. Guys, I'm telling you, like, I hope he does not suffer from injuries anymore. I really, like, I don't want to see him get injured, like, no more. Hopefully the next injury that he does get does happen in about 3 to 4 years, because we want to see him continue, have great development. This guy is a luxury. His clarity, his vision, his fluidity, everything about him is just spectacular. Hansi Flick does need him. A sporting project with Barcelona, regardless of the coach, needs Pedri in there. So the biggest news of today, besides us winning this game, is that Pedri is growing in his position, which is for sure the left central midfield position. That is his best position. He can play as a right midfielder, maybe deeper in the midfield, forming a double pivot, but we saw Pedri mostly as a left central midfielder, and that is once again his best position. He is really good on that left side. Whoever's on that left side, whether it's Raphinha, Balde, Ferran Torres, all those players get a huge support from Pedri. So what a player. Moving on towards the next player, that is Jules Kounde. Like I've said, Hansi Flick did set up this battle. Like, ever since he did state that, okay, we'll see what Nico Williams can do because we have Kounde and I trust him and I do know what he can do. We're like, oh, okay, so this duel is going to be something to watch. And Jules Kounde once again stopped Nico Williams, just like he did in the Euros. To me, Jules Kounde continues to show that he is a great defender and he is improving on his individual duels, whether it's in the attack or in defense. He was not dribbled past not even once in this entire match. Nico Williams had no game plan nor anything against Kounde, and Kounde also had the most tackles in this match with a total of 2. Just to give you guys context to understand just how silent Nico Williams was in this match, 0 out of 5 crosses were completed. He did not complete a single cross into the box. He only had 12 passes, 0 long balls, 50% of his dribbles were successful, 0 shots on target, and lost possession 19 times. It was not a good night for Nico Williams, and I don't mean to be petty or anything. Like, I know that sometimes I come off a little too rude in a sense, but like I've said, like, you know, Nico Williams could have had this game much better. And when I mean by much better, I mean like he could have been a Barcelona player today. He could have just said yes and I'll wait for my registration. No worries. As long as I do become a Barcelona player this season, Nico Williams should be a player that should join Barcelona. I know that he'll eventually get his goals and assists with Athletic Bilbao. I understand that, but I just think that looking at Barcelona's sporting project, how can you not say yes to this? Nico Williams deserves much more. So it's a shame, and I do think that, in my personal opinion, is a mistake on his part. I understand loyalty. I understand that he wants to be faithful to his boyhood club, but it's a mistake. It's a huge mistake for him to say no, because I don't know if Barcelona moving forward are going to be welcoming him again. Moving on towards the next player, and that is Raphinha. Raphinha, a player who has also been named as one of the captains for Barcelona, performed against Athletic Club. I want to get one thing very clear. A lot of you guys thought that I was trying to shame Raphinha, and I was trying to say that, you know, I'm surprised, right, that Raphinha was named as one of the captains, and that is like the wrong thing to say. Look, the reason why I was surprised is because usually Barcelona likes to name their captains with the players that have had the most time at Barcelona. It's one of the reasons why Sergio Roberto last season was named as one of the captains. We understood that was one of the requirements, but this season it was strange because Raphinha has only been with us for 2 years. I never said that Raphinha did not deserve to have the captain armband. I never said that. I never said that Raphinha doesn't deserve to get any recognition, because to me Raphinha is a very important player. Raphinha to me has the capability to be one of the top players for Barcelona. Yes, because of his talent, but mostly because of his versatility, because he can play in many positions and perform. I have said it in the previous video. I understand why, in a sense, Raphinha should be named as one of the captains, because when push comes to shove and Barcelona is in a very intense moment where we need to win, Raphinha shows up. It's one of the reasons why Barcelona were able to defeat PSG in the first leg. Last season, Raphinha was a key player, and in this game against Athletic Club, a couple of months later, he continues to show why he is important and why he should have a say under Hansi Flick's sporting project. In this match, he had 73 touches, which I think it was the most. I think another player did have more touches, but Raphinha had one of the most touches because he was greatly involved. He did play as a 10. And side note, this could possibly explain the reason why Gundogan did leave, right? Is one of the factors, is because maybe he was told by Hansi Flick that he was going to be seeing some minutes here, some minutes there, maybe as a 6, sometimes as an 8, but it's going to be greatly reduced because Raphinha shows that he can play as a 10. And we saw that against Athletic Club. Raphinha can be a great connector between the wingers and the striker. He had 3 key passes, 3 big chances created, 6 out of 6 long balls completed, 4 shots, 3 dribbles, 9 duels won, and 3 tackles. He's incredible, and his leadership is so underrated. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but when Kubarsi was down and one of the players of Athletic Club were trying to provoke Kubarsi getting in his face, Fermin Lopez was trying to get in there, trying to fight, and then Raphinha came in and he said, hey look, don't fight, it's okay, relax, we don't need to fight here. Barcelona already have the 3 points in the bag, let's move forward from here, let's not lose our focus. And that's very important. And so his level sportingly and his leadership is elite, and in every game as we go by, Raphinha looks more and more comfortable as a 10. It all started with him playing as a 10 under Xavi Hernandez, but we never thought that Raphinha was going to master this position in the way that he is doing it right now. And he never complains about what position he's going to be given. I remember in the beginning when he first joined Barcelona back in 2022 and he was playing as a left winger against Bayern Munich, he did complain to Xavi Hernandez that he did not want to play as a left winger, and he believed that his best position was on the right wing position. He was scared, he was nervous, but as time went by, Raphinha has been growing. He was getting better as a 10, getting better as a left winger, and never complained, never caused any drama. That, my friends, is very important. Hansi Flick also praised the player by stating, for us, Raphinha always starts the pressure. The dynamism he brings to the rest of the players is invaluable. I didn't expect to see him press that much. He covers the entire pitch for 90 minutes. He is in very good form. And so lastly, I do want to speak about Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal was named as the MVP in this match, and I'm not going to lie to you. Yes, Lamine Yamal did well, but I think that a lot of players did good, like Pedri and Raphinha, who also deserve to be the MVP in this game. Lamine Yamal officially does have an assist against Valencia and a goal against Athletic Club, being involved in a goal in every match so far. And guys, let me tell you, Lamine Yamal is such a threat. I'm going to give you guys some numbers. By the 34th minute, when he did score that goal, this is exactly what makes Lamine Yamal so special. If you look at this picture here, you can see that Raphinha and Nico Williams had the highest expected goal threat so far in the match, right? 34 minutes in. Lamine Yamal is at the very bottom of this list, but he was the only goal scorer at that time. It shows that Lamine Yamal constantly overperforms his expected goal rate. To clarify, it shows us that Lamine Yamal has the capability to find goals under very difficult circumstances. Raphinha and Nico Williams found it very easy to find goals, right? They were in very clear situations to put the ball behind the net, but they were unable to capitalize off of those opportunities. Lamine Yamal, on the other hand, was well covered, finding it very difficult to put himself on a 1v1 situation with the goalkeeper, but then still found a goal to put Barcelona forward 1-0. He's a specialist, and at the age of 17 years old, to be named as probably the best right winger in the world, it is not normal, my friends. It's just not normal. How do you do this at 17 years old? Replicating the goal that you did in the Euros against France, and to do it yet again with Barcelona. And so bravo to Barcelona. This is the way. This is going to be the path to greatness. We just have to be physically and mentally 100%. I am also not stating that Barcelona is the best team in the world and that we're world beaters. No, we're not there yet, but Barcelona for sure have improved by a huge margin. And it's very exciting to see how this team is going to perform once all of our players are available and getting used to the attacking plan of Hansi Flick. That that is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.